Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I do hope that you caught my reading on Sunday, and I wanted to give like a little midweek reading, kind of like a reminder, and just check in with what energy has to say. So, I am reading from the Messenger Oracle deck, and this is Love Without Condition. Now, many years ago, the whole thing of unconditional love came out, love unconditional. But in reality, many of us love with condition. That means, I love you as long as you're not cheating on me. I love you as long as you're good to me. And that's not loving unconditional. But again, I'm not saying you have to have that in your life. I'm just trying to define. So, with that being said, with the energy that's going on right now, we can see in our social media platforms and all over, there's a lot of muddy water here. What we don't understand and what we need to really understand is that we are all interconnected. We all live on this earth together. And we must understand that we are part of one race, and that's the human race. And we have to protect that human race. And sometimes these things do get a little muddled because we have to look in a broader perspective over it. Now, although we do have to protect, we have to protect where we are. I do feel that healthy boundaries are needed. At the same time, we can't allow other perspectives, other people that have their own narratives to persuade us to believe differently. And, perspectives are just that, perspectives. It's not the truth. And in our world right now, there's a lot of illusion energy that's around. I mean, Neptune has been in Pisces, and, it's like Hollywood. It is like Hollywood on steroids. We have in our world where actors and those types of people are people that we look up to instead of people who actually know what they're talking about. Now, I am being broad here, and understand that. I am using broad terms here. But what we have to understand is that, people can only accept things from where they are in life. And if they're from a different place and they're raised in a different environment, they're going to have different perspectives because they have different influences upon them. We have to respect that. And calling them names, making fun of them, is not how we are going to help them. When you're walking a spiritual path, you have to and endlessly pull yourself out of the mundane and see the world through unbiased eyes. And that's hard because we all have our own perspectives, right? But we have to learn that, and when we're walking the occult path, when we're walking the spiritual path, such as myself, I have one foot in this world and I have one foot in the other. And we have to understand that as above, so below, as within, so without. And this touches on the different environments that we are raised in. Okay? We have to understand that the influence of people of power in those areas have a certain narrative they have to feed to other people in order to be in that position that they are in. You see, people, I've always heard people like, yeah, when people do nice things for you, they have an agenda. And Unfortunately, sometimes that's true, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes people are just nice. But many times, people have their own narrative that they are trying to push forward, and they will do, and they will say, and they will appeal to others in ways that will coerce them to be that way. You get what I'm saying? So we have to understand that, we can't condemn people because of narratives and what the society is shoving down their throat. I was raised by a grandmother who went through the Depression, and I understood certain things. And I was told then that don't expect the government to take care of you because that's not what they do. And I understand that now. Now that I've, had all of these years to have experience, I understand now. And we have to understand that as a people. We are a people. We are a human race on the planet Earth. And the best thing that we can do that would behoove us is to understand the illusion from the fantasy. Because honestly, unconditional love is usually what parents give to their children. I love my children unconditionally. I may not agree with what they're doing. I may disapprove of some of the things, but I love them because they were my children. They chose me to come into this world, and I was their mother. I carried them. I heard their heartbeat. I felt their kicks. I love them. Now, that kind of love is very hard to give to other people who are, not a part of your life. So, I guess you can all hear my roundabout way of saying that we need to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. We need to identify what the problems are and come together as a people and solve them. To love without condition takes a lot of understanding, a lot of emotional maturity, and it takes a lot of work, because in order to be emotionally mature, you have to work through the traumas that you've had in your life. Because what we see right now in our world is a bunch of people who have traumas that it's being played out. They're screaming out. This is their cry for help. We are seeing this trauma play out. Now, we have to understand where they are, where they were. We have to get there. We have to look beyond the divisions that are trying to be placed upon us. And we have to see the broader picture here. Remember, we want to be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. We want to, if we truly want to evolve and we want to grow as a society, and honestly speaking, where we are as a society with the technology we have, we are way behind in emotional maturity. We are way behind in that. We are way behind in a lot of maturity. But it's because we are force-fed a lot of crap of Hollywood. And we need to see that. We need to step back, step out of the box, and see what's really going on. To love without condition it takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength. But we can do it, and we can overcome obstacles and understand that, yes, we are unique individuals. We have our own talents, we have our own taste, we have our own lives. But we are part of this web of life. And we got to stop trying to break these webs. We've got to stop trying, allowing other narratives, other people's narratives, or their traumas. We've got to stop allowing them, allowing them to play us. We've got to stop being the pawns. We have to start being the individual human being that we are. We are not a pawn to be played with. And we have to really, really take that in. Love without condition. It takes a lot of strength to do that. But it also takes a lot of weight of wading through a huge swamp of BS to get to the reality of things, to get to the crux of it. So let's try to understand. Let's try to grow. Let's try to be that light. Because right now in our world, so in saying all this, this is what I hear through my meditations. This is what, when I do my journeys, this is the message that I'm seeing and I'm hearing, is that we need to understand about where people are in their lives, and we need to stop judging them from where we are. We want to be part of the solution. And calling people names and being bullies to them is not a way to help someone evolve. So, you may not agree with what someone does or what they believe in, but you need to understand that they are a soul and that they are influenced by society and by the environment that they are in. And if you are calling yourself if you are referring to yourself, I should say, on a higher vibration, then you should act like that. If you're on a higher vibration, then you should know and you should understand the suffering that happens in this world. And the suffering happens because it seems like that's the only way that we can change, that we are, we always need that kick in the bum for us to make those changes that need to be made. We get comfortable, we get in our ruts, we get lazy, and it takes something to get us out of it. So let's be a part of the solution. Let's see the narratives that are being played out. Let's understand that we are all interconnected. We are all spiritual beings having a human experience. And an experience it is, isn't it? So with that, I'm going to leave you. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Woden's Day. I offer you many, many blessings. And, know that I am not without fault. I am not without fault. And I have to acknowledge that, and I have to make those things better, just like everyone else. Let's evolve. Let's grow. And let's make this a better place. Blessings.